I want to start off with this disclaimer. Today, I will be talking about depression, anxiety, and different things along those lines. So if that is a trigger for you, I do want to give you this trigger warning.
She's ready for whatever, no matter what comes, no matter what goes. She's trusting in the Father, and if He said it, then she knows that she's ready. She's ready. She's ready. So get ready. She's ready. She's ready. She's ready. So get ready. She said yes to the call. If He said it, she gon' do it all. Ain't nobody stopping her.
Hey guys, welcome back to the She's Rhetty podcast, vlog, and whatever else God wants to make it. I want to start off with this disclaimer. Today, I will be talking about depression, anxiety, and different things along those lines, low self-esteem and certain things. So if that is a trigger for you, I do want to give you this trigger warning. But I will also say that I will be encouraging you in that way. I'll be sharing my own testimony in my walk and encouraging you to get ready to live. And that is the name of this episode. It is called Ready to Live. This will possibly be a weighty episode for me, so there may be tears, but not tears of sorrow, but tears of joy. I'll even just jump right in to say that you won't always be in this place. For the person that feels like life is not worth living, or there's nothing that can change it or shift how they feel, or even if they feel like finally I can breathe and it feels like someone has put a noose back on your neck again. And I just want to encourage you that you can get to the other side. What made me motivated to do this episode was I was sitting in church and I was up there singing, and my pastor did an altar call for suicide and depression. And every single time that he had done different altar calls for that before, it was almost like something that I was stamped as known as. I had shared my testimony about it several times at my church, and just how I believed that I would be overcoming it. And and I literally just finally, for the first time, felt like I didn't have to raise my hand or I didn't have to go to that altar call. There's times I haven't gone before in hopes that maybe I'm free, but this particular time I finally could just embrace that I want to live. And I could really take in and receive that where I am is good, and that even though this place isn't perfect, that it is, ordained by God and for such a time as this, and I'm right where He wants me to be. And even on my toughest days, that I have enough strength and I have enough power to get through it. And so, I wanted to share this because I believe there's somebody that's going to come across this who may be having questions, who may be like, hey, I don't know if I'll ever make it. I don't know if I'll ever see myself in a way where I don't still struggle with these things. And I even want to let you know that sometimes the whispers don't stop. A few weeks ago, I was driving and I heard a whisper that I used to hear. Nobody knows all the details, but I would hear whispers like, just run off the road. Nobody cares. Nobody would even care about you. And so even in one of the past weeks, when I heard it, I was able to laugh like, enemy, you are an idiot. Like, wow, I allowed those whispers to be so loud for me in a season. I allowed those whispers to make me want to take my life. Like, I remember standing by a pool and, the enemy and the depression whispers like, baby, just jump in and stay down. Like, you don't get back up, or laying in the tub, like, just go down and don't get back up. And the weight of that being so heavy that I believed it. And so to get to a place where I could hear that and laugh and be like, really? Really? You think it's that easy? You think that it is that easy for me to be taken out? Like, for me to take myself out? Like, no, I'm no longer giving those whispers power. The whispers of the Father are greater than anything that the enemy could ever whisper, yell, put in front of my face in any type of way. And so I finally feel that. And I just want you to know that there is a time where you will get to this and you will be able to laugh at the trick of the enemy that used to grip you. Like, it won't grip you the way it used to anymore. And so, yeah, how did that even get started for me? I think I grew up in poverty. I grew up kind of in a lifestyle that my mom would kind of describe as like fake it till you make it. Like, you don't let nobody know what's going on in our house. You don't let them, know things. So there were certain things that I experienced, certain traumas and different things that happened to me, even from a young age, that I was just kind of like, hey, you fake it till you make it. You put it on, you dress it up, you make it look cute, and until I finally was just like, this isn't cute. Like, this isn't fun. And there's stuff I'm experiencing that I need to express, that I need to, y'all, let me get a tissue. I didn't expect to, cry right here, but that I need to, lay down. There's things that I have not dealt with. And as I got older, all like different life and different things were triggering me that I did not know why I was triggered in that way, or why it hurt so bad, or different things that I experienced. And even today, I was talking to my mom, and she was sharing with me. She was like, you know why this probably bothered you so much? Because remember that your dad da 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 and whatever. And I was like, oh man, like I actually forgot about that. I forgot that thing happened, and that's why now when this situation comes up, it feels like that. And so for a person who is in that space, I want to convince you to go to talk about things and to search things. And even if you feel like it's not received well by your family or this and that, start with a therapist, start with a counselor, start with a safe space, your pastor or a friend who you can start sharing these things with, and start laying them down. I went through a season where I kind of called it like expose the enemy. And people know it was like I almost had like trauma vomit or whatever like that. And I would just share everything. I'm like, you know what? I'm dealing with this. Da, 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 da. And I would just go out and share it. And then they're like, Iman, I'm proud of you. And I'm like, proud? I just made a mess of myself and I cried everywhere. Da, da, da. And they're like, this is strength. This is strength. Like, your vulnerability, like, actually is a gift. It actually is your superpower. Like, when you actually are more vulnerable and you share your story and you're doing this, like, it actually is blessing everybody in the room. And I would watch how once I got vulnerable and shared different things, how it would spark up people who probably would never have shared that vulnerably in the room. Like, I would be like, oh wow, you too? Oh wow, you're dealing with this too? Or, oh man, okay. And they would just open up about different things. And I realized that, like, that actually is like a calling. What people do say, it's a superpower. It's one of my superpowers. It's one of my great characteristics, and God uses it. And so I grew up kind of holding things in, stuff was happening. My mom was a single parent and she would be working a lot and stuff like that. And so I didn't, when she would get home, she would be so tired, so stressed out. So I would deal with things and not open up about them. Or when I did, by the time I did, I was so hurt or so overwhelmed by them that it came out very emotionally, very, my mom was like, oh, you're always crying, you're always whining, you're always, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just so, and she would just be like, oh God, it's, and not that she like brushed it, but I would be so emotional that it was hard to like receive that, because I couldn't even talk or anything. I would just always, pout about it or whatever. And so, in that, it led me to hold a lot of things in and not talk. In maybe 2019, I wrote a song called In Your Hands. It's on Apple Music if you've never heard it. And then the Lord told me that, I wrote the song, thought it was fine. And before I released it, he was like, one thing about you is you don't sing songs unless they're true. You don't sing songs unless there's something you've walked through and whatever. And so I need you to put some stuff in my hands before you can release this song, because you only sing truth and stuff that really is like in your heart and that you lived. And I'm like, I thought I did. Like, I have given you all these things. And so the song literally says, like, I take my hurt and I laid it down. I take my fear and I laid it down. I take my life and I laid it down into your hands. And, and the Lord was like, I need the hurt. Like, I need the fear and I need your life. Like, I need you to lay that down before me. And so I was like, I have. And so I had to so it probably started in 2019 that I started walking through this healing journey. Well, it started before that. Prior in college, I started talking with a counselor and talking with different people. But probably that conversation with the Lord, where he was like, I need you cannot carry these things. Like, and you can't sing and convince other people to lay theirs down and you not. And so I remember going to my mom and just sharing different stuff that I experienced as a kid, different traumas, different things that, happened in the house, or, even outside our home, different struggles that I had. And she was shocked. Like, she was shocked that I had experienced these things and that she didn't know. And even like, why didn't you tell me? And, I was like, Mom, I always wanted you to be good. Like, I saw the nights that you cry. I saw you, crying yourself to sleep. I heard it even, like that in the other room. I would hear you, like that. And so I would be like, maybe it's too much. And there's times I did share things, and in those moments, while she was overwhelmed, she shared with someone else. It got other places, and yeah, it promoted a lot of just fear of me, like, sharing and being open. But I will say, a lot of times, if that is something that is happening, the enemy is actually trying to, y'all, it's someone outside. The enemy, hopefully all the power, everything stay together, Lord, thank you. This episode is going to happen, because people are going to get free and they're going to get healed. They're going to overcome, and I overcome the more I tell this testimony. And so yeah, it's going to happen. But yeah, I was talking about like my mom and her not believing all these different things. And so I shared them to her. She couldn't believe that they had happened. But in that, the Lord, after I did these things and I laid it down and I asked him, what fears do you need? What else do you need? Like, what part of my life? Then I was able to release that song. And, I'm grateful that I did. And it wasn't perfect, but it was definitely a testament of what God wanted from me at that time and that I had to live out. I want to encourage you to lay some hurts down, to lay some fear down. And if you have not already given your life to God, to give your life to him. And even if you already have, I want you to challenge you to really test and see if you really have given your life. And I'm not talking about just you raised your hand in a moment when they asked, they did the prayer of salvation at church. I'm like, are you really living in a life of obedience and yes? Probably the past few weeks, maybe, the start of this year, maybe, I realized that my pastor kind of talks about living yes to yes. I realized that at some point I was saying yes, yes, no, that's too hard, I'm scared, or that hurt, so no, I'm disappointed, so no, yeah, God, that one's fine. Yes, I can forgive this person. No, not them, because they hurt me so bad. Okay, or these different things. And then it led to more depression, more fear, more hurt, more anxiety. And so I want you to actually check and see if you've really given God your full life and your full yes. If you are struggling in these areas. And I know for sure that when I checked those areas, I could point back to where I had told God no. And in these past few years, the Lord had made me circle back to those no's to deal with certain things. And like people know, like before I could get to where I even am now, like I had to go and the Lord told me to go and forgive my dad, like, with no apology, like, this and that. He's like, go and forgive your dad. That's my son. I need you to love him. I need you to care for him. You gotta be this woman of God. I need your life to minister and to speak. He should see your fruit, no matter if he is treating you wrong or if he's treating you right, or he's not even strictly doing anything wrong. He's dealing with his hurt and his fear. And, he still has to give his life over. And, my dad did give his life to Jesus last year because of, just my continual yes to the Father. And so I want to challenge you. Like, that is the challenge here. Like, I want you to ask the Lord to search you. And what other ways can you give him your life? Where have you maybe been saying no at? What places are you not obeying that is stifling your life? Like, that is causing you to feel stuck. Like, you're not stuck. You may have just said no somewhere. And that was just what the Lord said to me. And by the way, this is not a one size fit all message because, I know there's like medical depression and medical anxiety and different things like that. But this is for the believer, the one who has been trying to come out for some time or has came out and it's been a cycle of in and out. And you're wondering, how do I keep getting here? This is what I have to, give for you. This is what I've been walking through in this time. And so even with this, when God told me to do this, my first initial response was like, I don't know, I don't know, God. But it wasn't a no. Like, I realized that if I did not do this, I would find myself back in that cycle again. That I had to trust that my yes was like, I was equipped. I had all that I needed. I was enough. And God was going to prove that to me when I did the thing that he said. Some of it, God cannot prove to you you're enough because you won't even say yes to see if you are. Like, did y'all hear that? Like, some of you, you're asking God if you're enough. Can you handle these things? Can you do it? And you won't even say yes first so that he can give you the answer. He's like, the answer is yes, but you won't see that until you say yes. And so in my mind, even what I'm sitting in right now, I was like, God, I'm not equipped. Like, I'm like Moses. I can't speak well. Like, I stutter sometimes. Like, my words don't come out right. I'm a country little girl from Florence, South Carolina. Like, God, why would you set me up? Like, why would you tell me to do this? But I sit right here right now and I'm just like, man, the faithfulness of God, because the enemy was literally trying to tell me that my voice, it just didn't matter and that it wasn't good enough and that when I spoke, it wasn't clear. And so many ways that, the enemy has tried to muzzle me. But had I not said yes to sit in this moment, I wouldn't realize that God was saying, daughter, that is a lie. Like, and I had to say yes to this, to sit right here and go. Like, I remember recording the first episode going, Shell, like, oh my God, I did it. Like, I can speak. And for most people, they'll be like, you've been talking. We see you at church. We see you do all these different things and don't know that, like, I still struggle there. I still struggle to believe. I hope I don't look crazy, y'all. I don't even care. Like, I just want you to be free. And there's a difference between, so I had low self-esteem for a very long time, but I have high confidence. So I can be confident and do things well and all these things, but there's still a part of me that still didn't feel sure or didn't feel enough, or, like, I can look nice and still not feel pretty or not feel beautiful. I could, sing all over the world and do all these different things and still go home and be like, my voice is not good enough. Like, and what I realized was there was a part of me that I was withholding from the Father, a part of a yes that I was not giving. There was, like, I'm like, yeah to this, but absolutely no to that. And I don't get to see the fullness of God unless I obey. Do you have an obedience issue? Like, maybe your healing is wrapped up in your obedience. And again, remember, this is not a one size fits all. This is not I have the answer, but this is some things I do want you to try for your healing and things I have walked through. I can honestly say since I start giving God every single yes, I have wanted to live. I have wanted to experience the abundant life that God has spoken about and told me about for so long. I have wanted to see the prophecies that people have spoken over me for so long. I've wanted to win for like I wanted to win and defeat every single thing. I've wanted not that just for me, but I've wanted it for every person I'm connected to. I've wanted it for the ministry I'm in. I wanted it for my marriage. I wanted it in just every area. And I'm telling you, like, just say yes. Just obey. Like, literally have the Lord examine and search. Tell me, God, where did I get stuck? Where did I stop? What was the no? What was the disappointment that led me to say no? Because some of it is just like, God, I actually trusted you certain times and you disappointed me. I had an idea. I had a vision for my life. I saw where I was going to be, and me not being there disappoints me. Me not looking like what I thought I would look like. My life, for the single girl who's not married, but always a bridesmaid. For the entrepreneur who thought their business would be a certain place and is still not there. For somebody who's in ministry and like I feel stunted. I feel like I'm not able to be all of myself and I have to shrink all the time, or however, I've been there too. I literally just want to tell you, like, to search and see like where you got disappointed, like where it didn't go the way you expected. And where you stopped really believing in, like where you stopped believing at, like what was it that made me stop somewhere, that stunted me and my growth and my trust and my faith in the Father? Where was that? And I want to challenge you there. I want to challenge you because I've seen what it's done for me. If God has told you something, I need you to do it. If God has requested something of you, I need you to do it. If God has told you to lay something down, I need you to do it. With no questions asked, with not a why, with not any of that, without a pity party, without a fight. Even that, honestly, if you do have to have a pity party, go home, cry, do whatever you got to do, and get back up again. Like, Ty Tribbett's song say, "Weep a man do it for a night," but how long? Only one night though. You got one night to cry it out, to tussle it with the Father, and then you got to get back up. Like, if he says let that man go, it's for a reason. If he says walk away from this, walk away from your job, do these different things, it's for a reason. Like, I'm telling you that you'll be happier. You'll have, not even just happy, because I don't even like the word happy, because that can be up and down and fleeting, but you will have joy. So that no matter what you are experiencing, you can still rise up and show up. And so that doesn't mean that right now my life is perfect, everything is going great. Now I'm walking on clouds and sunshine every day. No, I've cried this week. I've fought through some things this week. I've whatever like that. But guess what? I'm here. I showed up. I'm right here in front of I'm still fighting. I'm still giving God my yes. You hear me? I'm still giving God my yes. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let nothing that the enemy sends to me try to kill me or send me back into a depression or a spiraling, whatever that. If I have a bad day, whatever like that, that's not enough to take me from my yes and to make me change my mind about the yes I've already given. When I said that I was going to do this podcast and do this vlog and do whatever, every week since then, it's been some kind of attack, some kind of pivot, some kind of something happening. But I said yes. And I've seen what my yes has done for me already. So why would I start saying no now? And I pray that no matter what comes my way, that I remember this. I'll watch my own episode and remember when I said I was ready to live. And this isn't even just about your life, about maybe you don't struggle with depression. Maybe you don't struggle with anxiety. Maybe, that's not your issue. But are you ready for the abundance of the Father? Like, for me, because I grew up in poverty and certain things, it was like I couldn't. It's almost like you get to a party and there's a VIP section and you can go in the party, but you haven't even tried to walk over to VIP to see if you are. They actually gave you a VIP wristband, but because you don't think you belong there, you won't walk into the VIP section. And I've been that. I've been that for a long time. Like, actually wearing the wristband, the Lord done told me, baby, you are a very important person. You are VIP. This is how I see you. You ain't, you ain't just nobody. Like, I have literally ordained you. I've set you apart. I've done all these things. And you keep standing in the regular section. Like, you keep settling for, like, no. Like, walk in that place of abundance. Like, when you go up to it, you're not going to have to knock at the door or see if they'll let you in. Like, the door is going to open for you. And I just want to announce that over you. Like, the door of abundance is open for you. You won't ever walk in every time he opens it for you. But I will tell you, you got to start saying yes, yes, yes first before that door opens. You don't just get to the VIP. You have to obey to the VIP. And so I have been obeying. I have been doing these different things. And the Lord is like, I'll watch people and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. Man, I wish I was confident enough. Man, I wish I could. I wish, like, the way they see themselves and the way they show up and the way they talk and the charisma they have, and wow, like, and the Lord is like, baby, just see yourself when you see them. Literally, I see you the same way. The people I've set you beside, the people I've let you be around, how they can fight through things and not go up and down, and how they can, lean on the Lord and lean on the Father, and how they can get on stage and speak well, how they can do all these different things. Like, you can too. Like, don't let the enemy be louder than me. Like, you can too. And you have access to the same things. Like, you have access. Matter of fact, so much access that you've been able to see them walk through their process, see them build from the ground up, like, be right by their side in their ministries, be right by their side. Like, I've let you learn and see all these things. Like, so what makes you think that you can't do it? And so for the person who, or maybe you got to the point where you're like, okay, now I want to live. I just want to say to you, you still deserve the abundance. Like, okay, I'm living now. I'm here. That doesn't mean I'm living casual. That doesn't mean that now I'm just alive to be alive. That means now I'm alive to step up to the plate. When are you going to take a swing? When are you going to, are you just going to stand there, or are you going to swing that bat? You might miss a few times, but baby, when that ball connect with that bat, it's going to be out of this park. Like, it's going to be you. And if it ain't out of the park the first time, swing again and swing again. And then guess what? Swing again. And when it's your turn again, swing again. And when it's time for you to run, you run, baby. I don't even know. I don't even watch baseball like that. I don't know where the baseball references came from. But guess what? You step into the play. You swing, you swing, you swing till you knock it out the park. You run, you run, you run till you get a home run. You don't stop. That is how you get to abundance. That is how you get to abundance. Listen, if you are on this episode and you have made it to this far, I believe that you are a person who deserves abundance. You deserve abundance. And you've lived in a mindset for so long that you don't deserve it. You deserve it. Do you hear me? You deserve it. You deserve it. And it's not just enough for you to have it. It's not just enough for you to have it. It is for your bloodline. It is for your children, your children's children. It is for your nieces, your nephews, your cousins who look up to you. But it also doesn't just run forward, it runs back. It's so your mom can see that she can have wealth and she can have abundance and that she can live and she can keep fighting. It's for your sisters, like your older siblings. It's for your grandmother even. It's for your aunties. Like, it's beyond you. You got to live because it is bigger than you. You got to tap into abundance because it's going to shift up generations to come. Like, you have to do this. You have to show up. You matter. You're needed. You are a game changer. You are an atmosphere shifter. Like, if you're not there, things don't shift up and change the way they're supposed to change. So imagine letting depression and anxiety keep you from shifting a room, from shifting your family, from changing the trajectory of people around you's life. Like, and yeah, let that be enough to make you live. Let that give you enough joy and enough peace that, man, God thinks this highly of me. He thinks this highly of me, that he would have let me even click on this video, come right here and hear this. Because I believe that if you're hearing this right now, it's not something you heard for the first time. I believe that I am confirming some stuff that God already said, that people have already prophesied to you. Or if you're even an unbeliever, people have said stuff to you about, it's something about when you get in a room, or, man, every time I just laugh, or you always make me feel better. You always just some of your natural characteristics have already prophesied to people. They've always been pushing people. They've always been filling the room and shifting the room, and people feel better when you get in the room, and the room gets lighter and brighter when you get to dancing and when you get to laughing and all these different things. And so, no, you may have not even heard it in a Christian space or a Christian setting, but I just come to confirm stuff you've heard all the time. Like, you are that girl. You that guy, even if you watching and you paying attention. Like, it's okay. I know we saying she's ready, but you're ready too. And if you want to be ready to live, like, this is for you as well. Like, I know I reference women and all these different things, but hey, live too. Live too. I'll maybe go deeper into all the different things and different, areas and stuff as more we discuss, but I really just had this on my heart. Because I've seen the other side, and a side I actually never thought I would get to. I never actually thought I could live without feeling like I deserve to. Like, I never thought I could live without with feeling that I deserve good things. Like, I thought I would always feel less than. I would always feel ugly. I would always feel, everything that the enemy wanted me to feel. I thought I would always just feel what he said about me. And I've been saying in a few different videos that the Lord said this is the year to receive. And I have received every single thing that the Father has said about me. I have went back and searched old words. I have went back to old prophecies. I have went back to old vision that he shared with me and found the spaces where I said no when he was saying yes and you're ready, daughter. And man, has that shifted my life. And I've been able to receive it. Like, oh man, when you said this, God, truth is, I did not see myself like that. I did not. And I'm sorry, God, because I didn't think I was even that important to be the one to do that. I didn't think I was important enough to tell somebody that you got to live. Like, I didn't think I was powerful enough for my words to matter to a person when I say, hey, baby, get ready to live. I didn't. But this year is different. And I've been able to receive the joy of the Lord. I've been able to receive everything he said about me. I've been able to receive the scriptures that said I'm uniquely and wonderfully made, and believe that every little quirk, every little country thing about me, everything that I grew up with and that I am now was meant for me to have, and that it makes me more beautiful, not less. It makes me more, wow, more, I mean, all the things. It makes me more. Like, it just makes me more. Like, because I'm that. Like, nobody wants somebody who's not authentic and not themselves and all these things. And like, I'm more myself than I've ever been. And I'm grateful for that. I want you to live not just abundantly, but authentically. I want you to tell your whole story. I want you to be your whole person. I don't want you to hide. I don't want you to run. I always say this thing, no more running, no more hiding. And that's literally my admonishment to you today. Like, no more running, no more hiding. Get ready to live abundantly and to live authentically, to live with no fear, to laugh big like you laugh, to do all the things you do. If you're quiet and you're quiet and cute, be quiet and cute. If you're loud and wild, be loud and wild. Whatever it is, as long as you do it for Jesus, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Please don't give up. Please don't give up. Don't let go. Lean into the Father. I mean, he has great plans for you. And if you could only see it, and I pray that you're able to receive every word that I said. I pray it doesn't fall to the ground. I pray that it hits your heart and like never before. And every lie that the enemy has tried to say and make you believe, I denounce it right now in the name of Jesus. I even come against the enemy that is yourself, that is your inner voice that says these different things and this stuff that you picked up and you acquired. And I come against the things the teacher said about you in school, that you wouldn't be anything and that you're not good enough and you'll be like your mom or you'll be like your dad. I come against the enemy even telling you that and trying to punk you out of, walking in your calling. I come against even the lie that you can't break the things that your family struggled with. You can't break the depression. You can't break the cycles of anxiety. You can't break the lust and the trauma and all the different things that are on you that cause you to be depressed and anxious. I just speak against all those things. Like, you're more. You're more. The more authentic you are, the more you receive his abundance, the more you'll be able to live. And you deserve to live. This is this episode, and I really pray that you were blessed. I pray that I said something that has inspired you to live better, to live more, or to just not let go. God has so much more in store for you. So much more in store for you. Yeah. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you look like when you're ready to live. This is the She's Ready podcast, vlog, and whatever else God wants to make it. Keep living. Your best is yet to come.
She said yes to the